What is up, everybody? My name is Mr. B4. I am one of the members of RejectedGamer.com, and I'd like to bring you the second episode of the Rejected Gamers How-To series. In this episode, I'm going to cover another part of, well, about a few videos I might do as far as how to use certain features of your Wii. Now, in this episode, we're going to cover how to set up your internet connection for your Wii and why you would need one. Now, there's a few reasons why you would need one, and some of them are you need them to download games from the Wii Shop channel, which is up in this corner. You can download both WiiWare and Virtual Console games. You also need the connection to download a certain amount of channels, which can also be found in the Wii Shop channel, such as your forecast, your news, your Wii Speak, and your Nintendo channel. But you really won't need the forecast and news unless you're obsessed with it. Mainly the ones you'll use the most if you're going to use the internet connection at all are Wii Shop and possibly Nintendo channel. You also need a Wi-Fi connection if you want to add friends to your friends list, like through the message board over here. You go into the message board, you go into create message, and you go to your address book. It also displays your Wii number as well as the friends you have added. You can only have the internet connection if you need the internet connection if you want to add anybody. Otherwise, it wouldn't matter. Okay, that's one of the other things. Sending messages, like I said, is also important. Let's see. I think that's about it, actually. Yeah. The only other thing is if there's a certain game that you either downloaded from WiiWare or you have bought from retail, like a retail store like GameStop, that requires you to either have an internet connection for either online play or downloadable content to be added to your games. That's the other feature. Okay, now what you need to know first is the Wii. There's no attachments you necessarily need for the Wii in order to set up your internet. Because the Wii itself has a Wi-Fi it has Wi-Fi technology built inside of it where it can detect a connection anywhere within a certain range. I think, I'm not sure what the range is, but I know it can detect most Wi-Fi connections, at least in your neighborhood. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can obtain internet. You can either do it through the use of a USB connector, which can plug into the USB port of your computer. You put a setup disk in and you get the internet connection. Now, granted, yeah, it's cool and everything to have something like that, but it's not really necessary because most of us go out and buy routers. But if that's the only alternative you have, then go for it. But I'll show you how to set it up here real quick. The other one, though, before we get into this, is just your simple router, like I said. And most of us are going to have that, but setting it up for either one of them is going to be done the same way, only with like one or two different steps involved. Alright, so what do we do first is we go into the Wii options menu. We go into Wii settings. You go over a couple different pages here to your internet logo thing here. You click on that. Go to your connection settings. Now there's a couple different ones. See, I have two different ones, my Nintendo Wi-Fi USB connector and my wireless. Okay, I'm going to click on my wireless. Now you can say use this connection test. When you're prompted with this screen, usually you have to detect it first because these won't just show up. So if you detect for a connection, you would do it normally like enter a WEP key in like you would on the Xbox. And then whatever your connection is would show up here. And with the wireless, you just go in, you click connection test. You initialize the test. Initialize, I should say. I said that's wrong, sorry. It'll take a few seconds to test your connection. Hopefully mine is going to work today. It says it is, and sometimes when the connection is successful you need to perform an update, but the update that's available now I already have. You can change your settings while you're in here. I mean, there's your ID, whatever. You can have a wired or wireless connection. So, it's not that hard. I mean, it's the same either way. With the Wi-Fi connector, you would just say you want to use this connection, or you can just simply perform a connection test if you want to. You save this as your connection. And that is really about it. I mean, I wish there was more to it, but there really isn't. Sometimes you might have a parental control setting that you might need to use, in order, in case you want to be the only one who can access the connection settings on your Nintendo Wii. And I'm not sure exactly how to do that because I've never done that. I mean, I would like to see it in the settings, but maybe you have to back out and go to it or something, I'm guessing. Let's see, back out. Yeah, parental controls, you can go in here, and you can click yes or no as to why you're allowed to use them or not. And if you click yes, it only allows you to control the certain features for software and internet content. So yeah, I mean, you choose whether you want to or not, and then just enter a passcode or something that you would know that you could access. And that's really it. That's about as easy as it gets when you're connecting your internet. Alright. So just a couple things need to go over here. There are two different types of internet connections that you can have for your Wii. You can either connect them through a USB connector, which is going to run you about $35. It's not necessarily worth it if you already have a router, so I wouldn't suggest going that route. If you have a router, it's simple, go that route. There's a couple different things that need the internet connection. Like I said, the channels, if you want to download anything from any channel, use most features of any channel, you're going to need your internet connection to be working. And if the games have online play or downloadable content attached to them, you're going to need internet for that as well. And you also need it to send messages to your friends and add friends to your friends list. And that is it for this episode of the Rejected Gamers How-To series. And my name is Mr. B4, and if you have any questions or have any ideas for other videos you want me to do, please send them to me at mrb4@rejectedgamer.com. I will talk to you guys later. See ya.